In just the second United States Open singles match of her life, 15-year-old Coco Gauff did an excellent impression of a veteran on Thursday night, keeping her cool, measuring her risks and making the shots that mattered most. Her 6-2, 4-6, 6-4 victory over Timea Babos, a 26-year-old qualifier from Hungary, was a thing of grit and beauty. It made Gauff, a fleet and resourceful American, the youngest player to reach the third round in singles at the US Open since Anna Kournikova in 1996. Things won't get easier or less floodlit from here. Gauff's third-round opponent will be none other than Naomi Osaka, the world's #1 player and the defending US Open champion. Informed of that matchup during a post-victory interview in Louis Armstrong Stadium, Gauff nodded calmly at first. Then the near-capacity crowd at the tournament's second biggest show court produced a collective "ooh," and she reacted to that reaction by smiling and shrugging her shoulders. "I don't have any thoughts on it right now, because I have to play doubles tomorrow with Caddy, so I really focus on that," Gauff said, referring to her partner Caddy McNally, the 17-year-old American who pushed Serena Williams to 3 sets in the second round on Wednesday. As was the case at Wimbledon, where Gauff caused quite a stir by reaching the fourth round, it is a little hard to believe she is just 15. This is only her fourth tournament on the main tour this season. But though there were some rumblings about the long-term wisdom of giving someone so young a wild card for the US Open, Gauff clearly belongs at this level. "If your kid is ready to do calculus, how can you make them keep doing algebra?" said Corey Gauff, her father and longtime coach. Gauff is certainly ready for high-level tennis geometry. Though her physical gifts and big bang serve are what strike you first, what strikes you most is her decision-making. Gauff made several mistakes of her own and continues to make a significant number of double faults. She had 11 in her first round, 3-set victory over Anastasia Potapova and 7 more against Babos. But she was much sharper from the start on Thursday. Against Potapova, she was edgy and off-target in the early stages and then worked through the nerves. After Babos broke Gauff's serve in the opening game, Gauff immediately broke back and became the more constant flame throughout the first set, consistently doing damage with her precociously powerful first serve. This deeply entertaining match was an all-court tussle in which the longer rallies were often brimming with changes of direction and spin. Both players hit sliced backhands regularly and sliced forehands on occasion, to change looks and extend points. And though Babos and her coach, Michael Joyce, clearly had decided to focus her attacks on Gauff's forehand, her more vulnerable side, the teenager produced plenty of clutch winners off that wing. Above all, Gauff scrapped and hustled, tracking down balls in the corners and near the net that few tour veterans could have reached, twice sprawling to the blue hard court as she stretched to defend. The fifth point of the final game was emblematic. With Babos serving at 30-30, Gauff made get after get and ended up winning the rally with a backhand drop volley winner, after which she hunched over and pumped her fists repeatedly, the crowd's roar in her ears. "I had to dig really deep today and 2 days ago," Gauff said. "And honestly, I'm just proud of the way I fought. I was really running a lot today, and I fell a couple times, but I'm glad it was all worth it in the end." Next up, Saturday's big matchup, most likely in Arthur Ashe Stadium. Though they have never played an official match against each other, Gauff and the 21-year-old Osaka have already met. They practiced together at the Miami Open 2 years ago and exchanged confidences in the locker room after the self-contained Osaka once spotted Gauff on her own. "She wasn't really talking to anyone, and I was, like, oh, looks familiar," Osaka said. "I'm just going to talk to her. I know she's super young, and I know it's sort of hard to transition." Gauff said that their fathers had gotten to know each other and that they regularly have conversations. "She's won 2 slams and is only 21, Gauff said of Osaka after Thursday's victory. "We are both pretty young, but I'm a little bit newer to the game. I'm just curious how my game matches up against her." Gauff reminds Osaka of herself off the court, to a degree. "Well, she seems a little bit more, like, she knows what she's doing, Osaka said. Time for her to find out just how much Gauff knows on the court. When I hear people talking about someone, I want to have the opportunity to play them, just to assess it for myself, Osaka said. You know what I mean. Ben Rothenberg and Nayla Jean Myers reported from the other matches. Playing her throwback serve and volley, chip and charge game, Taylor Townsend flummoxed the Wimbledon champion Simona Halep and then hung on to close out a tight victory, winning 2-6, 6-3, 7-6, 4. Townsend, 23, has been a highly touted talent since winning the 2012 Australian Open junior title at 15, but has struggled to consistently play top-flight professional tennis. With her ranking outside the top 100, Townsend needed to win 3 rounds in qualifying to play this tournament. Thursday's scores, men, women. This means a lot, Townsend said. It's been a long journey. The crowd applauded when the on-court interviewer Rennie Stubbs said that Townsend had come to the net more than 100 times. The stat sheet showed a total of 106 net approaches for Townsend, compared to 10 for Halep. I knew that I'm not going to beat her from the baseline, said Townsend, who earned her first win over a top 10 player. I knew that I had to do something to give me an edge. Halep, the number 4 seed this year, has long struggled at the US Open. She lost in the first round the previous 2 years and has advanced past the 4th round only twice in 10 appearances. Townsend will next face another Romanian, Sorina Cîrstea, in the 3rd round. This matches Townsend's best result at a major. She also reached the 3rd round of the 2014 French Open. 2 other top 10 players in the top half of the women's draw lost on Thursday. Number 6 Petra Kvitova fell to Andrea Petkovic, 6-4, 6-4, and number 9 Aryna Sabalenka was beaten by Yulia Putintseva, 6-3, 7-6, 3. Playing in front of a star-studded support box that included Kobe Bryant and Colin Kaepernick, Naomi Osaka advanced to the 3rd round with a 6-2, 6-4 win over Magda Linette, who won the Bronx Open last week. Osaka battled her nerves in a 3-set first-round win on Tuesday. 2 days later, Osaka, who is wearing a brace on her injured left knee, shook out her leg several times because of apparent discomfort. She also was in a less-than-cozy position on the scoreboard in the 2nd set, down 0-3 after losing 15 of the first 19 points, but rallied to take 6 of the next 7 games. Osaka will play Coco Gauff in the 3rd round. Osaka said that she met Kaepernick for the first time on Thursday, but that she has known Bryant for a while. Everybody knows Kobe gives me real-life advice, she said. He's someone I look up to as an athlete and also as a person. She said she didn't feel extra pressure playing in front of the pair. It's just funny to me. You know, like, last year compared to this year there is no way, like, Kobe would sit in my box, she added. Yeah, Kaepernick, too. It's just crazy who you run into in life. For me, it wasn't pressure. It was just like I really didn't want them to sit in the sun too long, honestly. That was the thing that was on my mind. Alexander Zverev needed 5 sets to get through his first-round match, and he needed 5 more to get through his second-round match. But he pulled out a 6-3, 3-6, 6-2, 2-6, 6-3 victory over Francis Tiafoe on Thursday at Ashe Stadium. Zverev has made a habit of toiling for 5 sets in the early rounds of majors. He is only 22, but has played 17 5-set matches at Grand Slam events. 11 of those have been in the past 2 years since he entered the top 10, nearly all of them have come in the first 3 rounds of a tournament. Now number 6, Zverev has at least survived the carnage in the bottom half of the draw, where 4 top 10 seeds have lost. He will next face Al-Jazbadine, who upset number 29 Benoit Paire in, 5 sets, to reach the 3rd round at the Open for the first time. Denis Kudla's big run in New York is likely not making him popular in Belgrade after beating Janko Tipsarevic in the first round in what the Serbian veteran said would be his final Grand Slam tournament. Kudla ousted another Serbian, the 27th-seeded Dusan Lijovic, in the second round, 7-5, 7-5, 0-6, 6-3. In the next round, Kudla faces a third Serb, the top-seeded Novak Djokovic, who is struggling with a left shoulder injury. It will be the first appearance in the third round of the US Open for Kudla, a 27-year-old American ranked 111th. Two of the craftiest players on tour wove together a terrific tussle, with Karolina Muchova prevailing, 6-1, 4-6, 7-6, 2, over Hsisoe to earn the right to face Serena Williams in the third round on Friday. Muchova, a 23-year-old Czech ranked 44th, has some big wins on her record. Last year at the US Open, as a qualifier ranked outside the top 200, she beat Garbine Muguruza in a night match at Armstrong Stadium. This year at Wimbledon, she outlasted third-seeded Karolina Pliskova, 13-11, in the third set to reach the quarterfinals. Muchova did well in Wimbledon, Williams recalled early Thursday. Actually got to see some of her matches, but not enough. It will be a good job for me to watch a little bit. Another player has been fined under much debated first-round performance rule, intended to penalize players for not competing to a high enough standard, sometimes because of a pre-existing injury. Carla Suarez Navarro retired from her first-round match against Timea Babos on Tuesday because of a lower back injury. On Thursday, the tournament revealed that Suarez had been fined $40,000, about two-thirds of her $58,000 in prize money. This is the third Grand Slam tournament in a row in which a player has received a hefty fine for violating the first-round performance rule. Because most of Wednesday's matches were rained out, Thursday's schedule held out the promise of 75 matches, 54 of them in singles, as the tournament played catch-up. Here are some other stories from a busy day. Second-seeded Rafael Nadal, who was scheduled to play the second night match at Arthur Ashe Stadium, did not have to take the court at all. His second-round opponent, Thanasi Kokkinakis, withdrew with an injury a few hours before the match was to start. Ons Jabeur of Tunisia reached the third round of a Grand Slam for the second time, beating Alexandra Sasnovich, 3-6, 6-4, 6-2. Jabeur, who previously reached the third round of the 2017 French Open, is the only African woman in the top 100. According to the Egyptian journalist Reem Aboulail, Jabeur is now one win from becoming the first Arab woman to reach the top 50. To achieve that milestone, she will have to beat third-seeded Karolina Pliskova. Two lucky losers players who lost in qualifying but gained spots in the main draw because of late withdrawals advanced to the third round of the men's draw. Paolo Lorenzi, a 37-year-old Italian ranked 135th, defeated Miomir Kmanovic, 7-6, 11, 6-7, 2, 7-6, 2, 3-6, 6-3, in 4 hours 48 minutes, the longest match of the day. Kamil Majkrak, a 22-year-old from Poland ranked 94th, beat Pablo Cuevas, 6-7, 3, 6-4, 2-6, 6-4, 6-1. The final match on court 15 featured the end of the American Tim Smysek's career. He received doubles wild card to finish his career at the Open as he wished. Tim Smyzek, 31, and Mitchell Kruger lost to the team of Martin Dam Jr., 15, and Toby Kodat, 16. Max Gendler contributed reporting.